Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Geneforge 1 Mutagen, the latest game by Spiderweb software. It's another remake, this time of the first game in the Geneforge series, the other long old school RPG series besides Avernum, of which I've played several on my channel, as well as some of the more recent ones. And yeah, I've always been meaning to get around to playing the Geneforge series because I've been hearing many good things about it. Yeah, well, I've started with the Avernum series, and that one took a lot of my time. But now this one came out. Actually, it came out today as of recording this. So yeah, very unusual for me to play a game that's actually this new. And it came out. It's remade in the more modern engine. So absolutely no excuse not to play this right away. And part of the reason why I can play it this early is because I've been provided with the key by, well, not by Spiderweb in person, but by their marketing company, I suppose. So yeah, thanks a lot. Much appreciated. Just for the purposes of full disclosure and all that. But that being said, I would have bought the game if I hadn't gotten the key, so there's that. It's also really not expensive, so absolutely go ahead and get it for yourself if you, if this is your cup of tea. But I mean, if you're watching this, it probably already is, so. And you probably already have the game. Anyway, long story short, let's start a new game. I've already started a game earlier, but because of technical issues, I had to start over. So I've seen the very beginning, but I haven't made it off the first map, and I've spent much of the time that I did spend, just reading stuff. So hopefully this should mean that I won't be doing that quite as much, and that should speed up the already slow start a little bit. But if you're new to this channel, be aware that I like to read stuff, think about stuff. It's going to be slow-paced and very thorough. So absolutely be prepared for that. Or if that's not for you, then probably look for another playthrough. But I mean, if you're looking for a playthrough of this game, this kind of game, then you're probably already okay with it being slow-paced. So either way, we have a choice of character here, and yeah, I'm gonna take a look at those. So we have the Shaper. Shapers are skilled at magic and unmatched in their ability to create powerful creatures, which I assume, I haven't gotten to that point yet, so it's really almost entirely blind still. But I'm assuming that is the, titular Geneforging, the creation of creatures. However, they are physically frail. A Shaper will have to rely on its creations for protection. Well, okay. So a summoner type character, which, interesting. Guardians are the defenders of the Shapers. They're highly skilled in melee combat and can create creatures to aid them in an assault. So that surprised me. That they are... This looks very much like the fighter, like the knight archetype, and you wouldn't expect them to have any kind of magical ability, but I guess shaping is not a thing in this universe, is not a thing that is exclusive to spellcasters. So, yeah, that's interesting that it's a strong melee fighter who can also create creatures. However, their magical skills are otherwise weak. And then we have agents, which immediately intrigues me. Agents travel around on the command of the Shapers and solve problems, usually violently. Their magic and weapon skills are strong, but they are not good at creating creatures. Agents tend to be harder to play. Oh, I had completely missed this final sentence last time. It is intriguing. However, I'm very tempted to play this class, but it definitely seems like the creation mechanic, right? The creature creation mechanic is very much at the core of this game. I mean, it's in the title, and it feels like I'm kind of skipping out on that. I do like the idea of playing the more challenging class, and I do kind of like the idea of this agent class, this, special agent. That's literally what they are. But I would like to, experience this mechanic to the fullest. And I never play spellcasters as my main character, so I think I'm going to go with this one. That's what I chose last time, and I'm not going to change that. I think my reasoning is still sound. Now, I tried to come up with some decent name. I like to sometimes go with my go-to names that I used in other games, but there aren't really all that many summoner archetypes. And I couldn't come up with one with a character from a book or other media that I've read or watched recently that kind of fits. So I think I'm gonna do the super lame thing and just go with the default name. I mean, they all have their default names, so why not, right? Why not? And I'm gonna going to play on veteran here because, well, I'm definitely what I am. I'm not gonna play on torment though. So here we are. The Shapers are the oldest, most respected, most secretive, and most powerful of the magical sects. They have the power to create life. The Shapers can make new life forms from nothing but organic matter and pure magic. They can mold this life to serve any purpose, be it light housework or major warfare. The Shapers guard the secrets of their powers very closely. To learn their techniques without permission is to court a speedy death, at the hands of a guardian in the day or an agent in the night. After years of work, study, and testing, you have finally been accepted into the Shapers. It is the greatest of honors. You will spend your life advancing their will and learning their secrets. First, you must complete your apprenticeship. You must spend 5 years out in a Shaper colony on a remote island, watching their work and aiding their research. The journey is 2 weeks long. You travel on a living craft, a specially modified Drake that will sail you to your destination. That's pretty unusual, right there. Spending 2 weeks on that thing alone, huh? After a week's journey, you pass close to a small island. Your chart identifies it as Sushia Island. It is barred by the Shapers, forbidden for unknown reasons. Dangerous accidents, valuable secrets, visiting it is punishable by death. Definitely not going there anytime soon. You watch Sushia Island, wondering what secrets lie there. You thus fail to notice the warship off to the east. Your craft cries out in alarm, alerting you. The ship is of an unfamiliar style. It instantly fires a long spear at your craft. The razor-sharp bolt strikes your Drake in the neck. It roars in anger and breathes a bolt of fire at your attacker. It strikes the enemy's sails and sets them ablaze. Which probably means that we killed them too. Or it killed them too. The battle takes only seconds. Your living craft founders, mortally wounded, dropping you into the water. Your equipment sinks into the depths. You start to sink into the rough waves, but with one last effort, your living craft saves you. Bleeding, dying, it drags you towards Sushia Island. You grab onto a crumbling dock, barely conscious. Your craft slumps against the stone, dying. You are left alone, abandoned, on a forbidden shore, marooned on Sushia Island. Or Sucia Island, the dirty island, if you're Spanish. Welp, that's not a great start, although, you know, it's a pretty good start for a video game. Yeah, welcome to Geneforge. These messages will pop up to help you, right. Well, I mean, one of the benefits of having played this part before, or, you know, having had a chance to spend some time with the game is that I hopefully won't struggle so much with the controls, because, well, this engine seems to be pretty close, you know, predictably, or as was to be expected, pretty close, pretty similar to the one used for the most recent Avernum remake. However, in the meantime, the most recent Avernum game is actually in an older engine, so, you know, I've got things all mixed up in my head, and my muscle memory is all over the place. So, yeah, I'm still gonna probably hit a lot of wrong keys, but, you know, usually not such a big deal. Crumbling docks. You stagger off the dock, weakened to the point of collapse by your desperate swim here. After a few minutes, you manage to regain enough of your senses to look around. You're on the south coast of this mysterious island. However, apart from the fact that the isle was declared barred by your people, you know nothing about it. You wish you had already started your shaping training. Or just read some history books, I suppose. Islands are generally barred because of a failed experiment and the presence of horrible rogue creations. Worrying. Yeah, you think? Actually sounds pretty exciting. Fortunately, except for the lapping of the waves on the base of the dock, all is quiet. If you're going to be devoured, it won't be soon. We'll see about that. However, you are still stranded and desperately weak as well. Fortunately, the beach stretches off to the east. Maybe you can find supplies and help. Right. Great. Classical start. We have absolutely nothing here. Well, I mean, we have a robe, I guess, a drenched, completely soaked robe, and a dagger. And surprisingly, some money. I guess in a pouch on our belt or something. Can carry up to 50 pounds. Right, game is giving us some tutorialization here. But yeah, this interface is very familiar from the Avernum series. It is just the same engine, or modified version of such. We have all the quick slots that we could wish for, so that's great. Interestingly, our range attack, which we can toggle like... Oh, wait. Can we not toggle it like that? Why did I put it there? Okay, I did rebind some keys, and I did do a thing that I did with some of the Avernum games that I've played. I did set up a special AutoHotkey script, which in case anyone's interested, I'm going to put that in the description probably, or maybe in a comment. It's a very simple one that starts the game, so the script is running automatically. Also cancels the script automatically when the game closes for maximum, usability, and it basically just binds, or allows me to, well, no, it just binds the WASD keys to the arrow keys, so I can use those for scrolling. What you have to do is, because you cannot rebind those normally, however you can, or you will have to rebind the W and A keys, because they are normally bound to, A to ability, usability, and W for something else. Oh, interestingly, it unbound shortcut. Wait, yes. Usability is still on C. That's strange. I did bind shortcut to J, and it did remember the usability shortcut and the switch default weapon. Oh no, that's on S. Yeah, it's A and S, I think, that are normally bound, but, well, no big deal. Nothing you absolutely need to have there. So, in case anyone wants that, because, I don't know, I will have my left hand on the left side of the keyboard anyway, because there are so many things you want to hit there, the number keys, escape to cancel out of menus and all that. And, having the hand on the arrow keys to scroll instead is kind of awkward to me. So it feels much more natural to me, and I wonder why they didn't implement that. But, here we are. Also, you can use the mouse to drag around the map, which I learned, and, I've been trying to get used to it, but it's still a bit weird to me. Anyway, that's just out of the way, and again, I will put that script in the description if you're interested. Right, there's just some junk in these first containers. I guess I should go over the UI real quick. Right, yeah. I was actually starting to look at the fireball here, which is interesting. So we have our melee attack and ranged attack, and, well, we don't have a weapon right now, a ranged weapon, and it says default attack fireball here, so I find that interesting. So that's selected now. We don't have any spells, though, otherwise, or anything to bind to any of these slots. We can look at our stats, like so. And, there's a lot here, and I spent a lot of time on that previous failed recording looking at everything. I guess I will probably still go over things in case you're interested, and also to, help myself remember. So level is pretty self-explanatory, skill points is pretty self-explanatory. On level up, skill points. Experience, right. So, you do get 10 skill points per level up, so I haven't leveled up yet, obviously, but I'm assuming that everything costs more than 1 point to increase, or things will at least start getting more expensive as you put more points into them, or else these 10 points per level seems a bit too generous. Experience, right. Interestingly, it does list the number of times you've attacked under experience here in the tooltip. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe there's a special significance to that. We'll see. Health is pretty obvious. Essence. How much essence you can use to cast spells or make creations. Cast spells or make creations, alright. Stand by an essence pool or return to a friendly town to restore your essence. Essence used to make a creation doesn't return until the creation dies. Currently using 0. Increase your essence mastery to get more. Right, makes sense. So, there's a couple of interesting things in here. So, first of all, the fact that it only replenishes by going back to a friendly town, or using special essence pools. Was it? Yes. Makes it sound like it's also a kind of exhaustion mechanic, or stamina that forces you to take breaks and return back to safe places regularly, which is fine. And at the same time, and then it also says that essence used to make a creation doesn't return until the creation dies, which implies that so long as a creation doesn't die, it will just stay with you. So possibly, potentially permanent party members that you just create. I'm very much looking forward to exploring how that works. I also wonder if there are going to be more human party members or humanoid party members. Who knows what kinds of species exist in this world. Or if it's all going to be my own creations. But then an agent who is not good at creating things, well, maybe that doesn't mean that they can't create anything at all. Just that they don't have access to the highest level, or maybe it costs more skill points to increase. All things we're going to learn. But yeah, definitely intriguing. Spell energy is, well, spell points. Then we have strength for melee damage and equip load, agility for ranged weapon damage, evading, and also speed, initiative in combat, I guess. I'm getting a little bit distracted here. My cat is playing with a paper bag next to me and making sounds. Anyway, intellect increases all spell effects, not just damage. Now she's walking over my desk. That's great. Honey, you need to thank you. Right, all spell effects, not just damage. That's cool. Spell energy as well, so obviously one of our main stats here. Essence mastery increases the amount of essence. I found that these are weirdly worded, both essence mastery and endurance, but, well, I guess, yeah, you just get more essence. Essence energy, essence, well, just essence, I guess, per point invested in endurance for health. Right. Health is very important. Most deaths are caused by running out of it. Most. Yeah, I guess. Then we have combat skills. God, I'm not going to go over all of these. I guess if you want to read them, that's probably the much better option. I'm just going to hover over the tooltip for a moment, and you can pause the video and look at it that way. I'm going to, worry more about all of these once I actually level up and have to think about spending things. Interestingly, well, there are a couple of interesting things here to look at and to talk about, but we will have plenty of time later in the game. This run will, last a while. Anyway, one more thing to mention: combat skills are marked as weak. Shaping skills are marked as strong, which is as per the character description. So, yeah, what exactly that means, I don't know yet. What else is there? Well, there is a journal, Escape Susha Island. We have special items, current quests, codex too. Everything you could wish for. We have a world map that we can access like this. We can drag around like this. Looks pretty cool, actually. Very, very detailed. Almost photorealistic. Well, I mean, not quite photorealistic, but pretty good. I like it quite a bit. And yeah, you can already see, well, this is where we are apparently. You can see a total of 4 villages or settlements of some sort. A bridge here, several bridges actually, but no other structures in the entire northern 2/3 of the island, which is intriguing. There are a couple of cave entrances that you can see there, but definitely not much in terms of landmarks, which leads me to believe that we might end up visiting multiple islands in the course of this game, unless there is much more to this place than first meets the eye. Definitely intriguing, though. What else? Journal. Toggle formation, right. I mean, we don't have a party yet, so I guess it doesn't matter quite yet, but it's interesting that it's there. Oh, right. Oh, you cannot? Okay, you can click, but you cannot drag the view on the map, which is fine. Hold tab for more details. What? Oh, what? Wait. Hold tab key for more details. Why does it say it there? When I have hit tab, it highlights well, people, containers that or things you can interact with. Very, very convenient, very useful. Anyway, I think that's it. 20 minutes in, and I haven't even moved off the very first part of the game. Anyway, Getting items. There's an old ratty cloak on the ground in front of you. It looks like it's been there for a while and it's not very clean. However, you're wet and cold enough to want it. To wear it, blah blah blah. Yes. Right. Walk there, we hit G, it's on the ground, and we put it on. It gives us 1% physical and magical armor. And that's that. There is a tunnel to the north, built into the side of the hill. Your guess is that it is a storeroom or warehouse. Usually one is placed near the docks of a settlement. The structure is crumbling. You would guess that it's been abandoned for at least a century, probably 2. Surprisingly old. After all these years, most of the goods inside are probably useless. You still might be able to scavenge something useful. Right. And of course, because I can't resist the temptation, we explore here first. The path farther into the island is blocked by a thick stone door marked with the symbol of the Shapers. Which, okay, we can't see it now, but it's basically these 3 colored circles, which is also the colors of our energy bars, for what it's worth. Marked with the symbol of the Shapers. When you get close, your skin tingles. Complex magical protections are in place. You hear a soft, reassuring voice. Sucha Island has been barred by the Shapers. For more information and a request to the council, send a request to the council. Only full Shapers are allowed entry. No Shaper qualities have been detected in you. Oof. Sick burn. Please go. This is worrying. If you can't find a way to pass this door, you might starve here. Well, I mean, there should be a way to, you know, swim around or actually just walk around the outside of these cliffs. If this were real life, you know. But let's say that we absolutely cannot go by water. Maybe there's piranhas inside, or you know, something else lethal. Let's check out this place instead. Gonna look into every single container. We have these not ominous at all glowing red crystals here. Doors and canisters. Stand next to the door to open it. In fact, it's actually an automatic door. There's a door below you and to the left. Most doors open when you get close to them. Others are opened by pulling levers. Walk up to the door, and when it opens, go through. Select the glowing canister on the other side and you will get a pleasant surprise. Thanks, game, for spoiling that. Why don't we check out these first? Okay, there's just some supplies. Here we have javelins, for what it's worth. Some bones, no thanks. Yeah. Actually, we don't have anything that's worth money yet. I was wondering if this game would tell me that whether something is worth you know, picking up, for selling later or not. And yes, it does. So most of the things that we find here aren't really worth picking up. There's an office to the west. The shelves on the wall have nothing on them but dust. The cabinet in the back corner, however, might contain something useful. Right. Well, let's do that first. Why not? Here we have some money. The box contains a variety of papers. You rifle through them eagerly, hoping for a clue as to where you are or what might have caused this island to be barred. It's no use. The papers crumble at your touch. Beneath the papers, though, you find something interesting. It's a brass key, none the worse for wear for its long concealment. You take it. Great. Here we have another cloak, yep, which is exactly the same as what we have, and it's not worth anything, and I'm not going to take it. I'm also holding, you know, keeping an eye out for any, hey there, automatic door, for any secret buttons on the walls. I haven't seen any yet, so who knows. Inside this small chamber, you find several cylindrical containers. They look like canisters, each about 4 foot high. Can you say that? The sides are made of thick, carefully blown glass. Most of them have been broken, and the contents are long lost. One of them, however, is still intact. Inside, you see a glowing fluid. It swirls and moves about, seemingly under its own power. It looks like it is, in its own way, alive. It probably is. You have seen similar objects. The Shapers can store essence concoctions filled with life energy, which heal or energize those in need. This must be something like that. There's a sharp metal needle emerging from the top. If you let it poke the palm of your hand, the substance will emerge and energize you. In your weakened state, it seems hard to resist. Honestly, to me, it seems very easy to resist. That whole thing seems very ominous to me. But, I mean, there's nothing else to do, so... Bam. Open canister. When you open the canister, the agents inside begin to act upon you. You feel yourself changing. Right. You're suddenly struck by a dizzy spell, driving you to your knees. It's not caused by hunger or fear, but by the effects of the strange substance in that canister. The essence-infused emerald goo didn't heal or revive you like you expected. I'm not actually missing health, so that's fine. It changed you. Is it like some sort of mutagen, perhaps? I don't know. It changed you. It's like it soaked into your skin and rewrote some of your very being, like your genes, perhaps, making you stronger. Stronger. Not ominous at all, as I said. A strange urge and instinct seizes you. You extend your fingers and focus. Tiny trails of flame shoot out of them. Magic. Actual magic. What would have taken years of training, you learn to do in an instant. It is exhilarating, and at the same time utterly alien. You had no idea that your people could do something so wonderful. And you feel a deep compulsion to find more of these canisters. Oh, already hooked. Yeah, I'm sure that's not a bad thing at all, and no sinister consequences will, happen later. Right. The canisters are your main way to gain new abilities while on Susha Island. You can now cast Firebolt, which I find interesting because, it said Firebolt for our default range attack. In fact, another thing that you can see when you actually equip a ranged weapon, it replaces that. But since we are a spellcaster, I'm gonna leave that off for now. But we do also now have an actual Firebolt available as an ability. So I wonder if these are separate things, because this one actually does cost energy. So who knows? We'll know as soon as we actually get into some sort of combat, which I have not yet done. So combat is a thing that I haven't experienced yet in this game. Costs 2 energy, uses 9 action points, and deals 4 to 8 damage with an increase of 23%. Whether that's already built into that number or if that's added on top, who knows? We'll see the actual numbers once we start casting spells, I guess. So yeah. And obviously, since there is no other way, this magical door will now recognize us as worthy. The path farther, you hear a reassuring voice. Only full shapers are allowed. Shaper qualities have been detected within you. You may pass. Please do not remove or interact with any... And then the voice cuts out. How strange. Well, I guess it must have been running on reserve power. Hi there, Quiet Shade. Alright, so we have ghosts here. That's great. Wonderful. Hold on, Mr. Ghost. We'll just... Right, this thing. I actually forgot about that. Healing Pot. This gourd contains specially formulated and mildly enchanted shaper-made goo. Yuck. Eating it has some beneficial effect. It's pretty gross, though. Fortunately, it keeps for a long time. Pods help only you. Use spores to help your entire group. Interesting. So, yeah. This is where I learned that value is still going to be displayed in the tooltip, so if an item displays no value, like javelins, for example, they're not worth to keep around for selling or anything. One charge, ability, healing pod for 20 to 60. So again, we have pretty high variability on certain effects. Of course, I cannot resist, but explore absolutely everywhere. There does not seem to be anything here, though, except for that stick, which is technically is a weapon, but actually, is there really nothing here? I guess not. Okay, also items. Items on the ground do light up slightly when you get into range of picking them up. That is interesting, although that's kind of subtle. Wait, does that work with the... Yeah, that stick just lit up a little bit. Does it work with those... Huh. I guess not necessarily. Yeah, you can't see it with the stone because it's too bright. So that's not very reliable, but... Oh well. Oh, no, it moved toward me. Hi there. There's a shade standing in front of you. Well, kind of, yeah. Let's pretend it didn't just awkwardly start floating past me. There's a shade standing in front of you. It's a hazy, insubstantial humanoid. It warps and twists in the light breeze. You suspect that a strong wind would tear it apart. It hovers in the air, staring at you. Though you can't make out any features, you can clearly tell that it's watching you. Special encounters like this one give you several actions or things to say to choose from. Select a response below, or type the number. Right. Now the thing is, none of these 3 options here are how I would probably react in a similar situation. Exhausted, just barely survived a surprise attack, and being marooned on this island. that we don't know anything about, and that is probably teeming with monsters of all kinds. And then we, get our hands stung with that weird goop and suddenly learn how to cast magic, which is apparently not how that normally works in this world. We stumble through this gate and see a ghost, and these are our options. I mean, I probably would not just go ahead and ask for directions. I might panic and start attacking, although, I mean, probably not. I would probably just run. But I guess the closest thing to trying to find out what it even is and what it wants from us is number 2 here. Why are you watching me? The shade does not respond. It continues to watch you. A light breeze causes ripples to appear on its misty surface. This is strange. Sometimes shades like this are ghosts. Other times they are spies or scouts woven from essence by a shaper to explore, learn, return, and report. Right. So, and this is where I learned that in this world, apparently these shades aren't that unusual, and our character has probably seen those before. We've seen similar things before, so that's why he wasn't completely spooked. That explains that, I guess. Are you a ghost? Were you alive once? Or are you a creation? Did someone send you to find me? I mean, I guess if that's a common thing, that's not entirely unreasonable to ask. The second one, that is. But, I mean, we have no reason to suspect or expect that anyone would know of our presence here, right? Unless they are the ones who attacked us. But then it seems like they were actually trying to kill us and didn't expect us to survive. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to ask whether it's a ghost. The shade does not respond for a moment. Then it starts to move slowly toward you. Then it begins to break apart as if the motion was too much for it. It dissolves rapidly in the warm sunlight. You're alone in the clearing. Right. The door to the north is locked. The lever inside the guard post will open it. Thanks, game. Still tutorializing me here. Fair enough. Right, that's just another dagger, unfortunately, not worth anything. Here we have a tunic, which is much worse than our robe and also not worth anything. We have a shield, though, which we can equip. Can carry 50 pounds. Is that... Okay, that's only for stuff that we have actually equipped, so can equip up to 50 pounds worth of equipment. I guess we'll eventually find out what happens if I literally cannot equip anything past that, or if that's where my spellcasting is going to be affected. Or maybe that's going to be affected before that. But we can increase this by increasing our strength. So, well, we'll see if I'm going to end up doing that. Pull the lever. One of my keys fit. Oh, right. Oh, I think, yeah, this tutorial tooltip here talked about levers sometimes being locked, and we did pick up that brass key earlier, so that was required here. In fact, can we not look at that? Yeah, ruined docks key. This key was in a desk in a ruined storeroom not far from where you arrived on Susha Island. Right. Also, I haven't looked at the quest here. So you have been stranded on Susha Island, an island barred by your people. It is forbidden for visitors to come here, so you're required by law to leave as soon as you can. Well, I mean, I'm trying. Most likely, the only way you can escape this place is to find a boat. There are several docks on this island, but you will have to find a path to them. Well, I mean, according to the map, there is exactly one other dock besides this one. Right, unless, yeah, nothing on the west coast there, but there is this one. We can't really see the other coast, but it looks very mountainous, so let's assume there is nothing there. Anyway, yeah, looks like we'll have to possibly cross basically through the entire island to reach those other docks. Now that you have made some progress, you should save the game. Good point. Saving the game creates a snapshot of your progress. Okay, thanks for telling me how saving games works. I guess I appreciate that they, explain things that might not actually be known to everyone, to completely new players. So, there's no harm in that. Let's just quick save for now. It's good enough. We have F3 and F4 to save and load, and there is still a protection that requires you to double tap F4 to load, so you don't accidentally hit the button and reload when you didn't want to. It's very convenient. Also, I probably want to activate the text log here just in case. These were probably the barracks for some guardians or agents. They were abandoned years ago. The beds have rotted away and there is trash everywhere. Whoever was here left very quickly. 2 chests were left behind. there's also this somewhat mysterious lever that I'm not sure what it does. I don't think I ever found out. I am going to pick up more javelins, just in case, I don't know, maybe I want a ranged weapon at some point, like a physical ranged weapon. Or maybe I'll find another party member and they might want it. You pull the lever. And nothing else. Looking at the map here, the map doesn't show any difference, but maybe a secret passage opened here? No, apparently not. It might be different, might be handled differently in some of the older games or other Spiderweb games. I think some games actually just showed you any changes on the map, like you know, any doors opening even when they were not in your field of view. Others might have only updated when you actually went there. So I'm not sure how that's handled here. Hello, strange roamer. Are you making those sounds? Once again, you find you're not alone. There's a roamer just ahead, watching you. A roamer is a creation. It is a creature invented and improved by your people for use as a scout or an attack dog. Since it's a creation, it should be naturally inclined to obey you. However, this creature isn't servile to you at all. It doesn't look hostile, it's just staring. It's an eerie feeling being watched by a creation in this way. Creations have always obeyed you mindlessly before. It is clear that, whatever this island is, shapers have been here. However, if this isle is full of rogue creations, you might have a serious problem. Right, because, well, while we were supposed to become, or chosen to become a shaper, we have not even started our apprenticeship yet. So, really, while we might have some inherent talent, we definitely haven't learned anything yet. So that's not good. But there are a couple of interesting things to learn about this game's setting, this world in this paragraph here, or these paragraphs. That apparently these even for non-shapers or people who aren't actively creating creatures, the creations seem to be pretty much omnipresent and used everywhere in everyday life, and it seems a lot to me like it reminds me a lot of the like Asimov's laws of robotics, where inherently every robot created has to obey these basic rules and is forced to obey humans and not harm them. And it seems like something similar is going on with creations, where they're such a normal part of everyday life, and everyone is used to them just obeying humans and just being servants. So it's I guess it would be pretty weird and pretty shocking for someone from that society, from that kind of society, to run into creations that don't behave that way, don't seem to obey those rules. When you get close to the roamer, it sniffs at you, then it gets nervous and runs away. Odd. Odd indeed. Dang it. I wonder if I could have followed it faster and actually seen it disappear or not disappear. But it seems like it teleported at some point, so there's that. Wait, did we actually ever... Yes, we did open those. I thought I found more of these healing things previously, but maybe that was later. I did get a little bit farther, but this is about as far as I got. I explored this building, and then that was that. Looks like I actually ended up talking just about as much, which is kind of crazy, actually. But here we are. You immediately recognize this place. It was an inn, where visitors and travelers could stop for steaks, drinks, and sleep. The crumbling roasting pit still dominates the center of the room. You're getting confused. This island was once fully settled. Why? Most islands are barred because of experiments gone awry, and most such experiments are performed by very small labs in crude quarters, safely far from society. Yet you've seen warehouses, guard posts, and now an inn. At one point, a lot of shapers lived here. Now they're all gone. Why? What could have driven so many of your people off, and why And what took their place? If anything, I mean. The island could just be completely deserted. Yeah, right. Obviously that wouldn't make for much of a game, but, you know. Our character doesn't know that he's in a game. Ornks. Ornk, ornk. Looking to the north, you can see that you're not alone on this island. Again, for the third time now. Though you were worried about horrible mutant creations, the next creatures you encounter are nowhere near so terrifying. It's a flock of ornks. The ornk is a shaper creation. It's a slow, clumsy livestock animal, hardy and laden with meat. Shapers created them to stock lands unfriendly to non-created animals, such as apparently this one. You notice that these ornks have large tusks, probably added by the shapers to protect them from predators. Fortunately, they are likely to leave you alone if you leave them alone. Right. Uncomprehending stare. These look, I don't know, some of these remind me of large hairless moles. More than anything. Which is certainly pretty unusual. Crystal. For selling, and Control-click loads things right into the junk bag, which you can then conveniently sell with a single click as soon as we encounter some sort of merchant. Okay. Another robe, a belt that gives us a little bit of extra protection, so sure, why not? And you know what? For role-playing purposes, I'm gonna actually replace my soaked robe with this old but not wet one, which I guess is an upgrade, technically speaking. Alright, okay. So we did see that opening, even though we weren't looking right at it, so... okay. There are more healing things. I guess I want to probably put those on the bar as well. So, again, what did this lever do? If it did anything. I mean, maybe it opened this one. Maybe, actually, I kind of want to know. Hopefully we'll be able to see that closing. We do not. Did anything else close? Something? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Okay. The view kept scrolling there. I think the key got stuck or something. I think that's something that used to happen in my other playthroughs as well. Well, my keyboard has been serving me very faithfully for a long time. I guess it's earned the right to sometimes misbehave like that. Not too bad. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't see any changes. There might be something. Maybe it's the game's being tricky, and you know, not flipping the switch is what you want to do. But now it's again in the flipped position, so we'll see. Maybe it changes something in the rest of the map. And I guess, well, I'm already over the length that I'm typically going to aim for these videos, but since we seem to be very close to exploring all of this first map, I'm going to finish doing that. Okay. So this is already past the point up to which I played previously. Apparently we just get a free level here. 1,000 experience is exactly as much as we needed for the level up. You have reached the northern edge of this region. You can see more of the settlement to the north. Okay, when you are ready to move on, step on the area shaded blue. You will then be on the world map. To travel to a new region, select it, and then select travel. To make things easier, the next section will be automatically selected for you. You're already regaining your strength and feeling more confident. In the next section, you will learn about spells and combat. Cool. Good luck. Your adventures are just beginning. Well, right. Thanks for the free level. Appreciate it, I suppose. Something hiding here? Nope. Oh, there's something here. Oh, maybe we open this. It's possible. There's another lever. But there's also another door right here, so... Thorns. Shapers grow these thorns on specially bred bushes. They're loaded into batons and fired at enemies. Okay. If you try to fire an unloaded baton, you will automatically reload it with thorns in your inventory. Interesting. So, basically, firearms? Pull lever. The lever is locked in this position. You don't have enough living tools to move it. You need 3. Okay, right. Living tools are apparently the lockpicks of this world, which is, you know, kind of wild. Living tools. Right. Mechanic skill needs to be 2 or higher. Dang it. So, well, I guess I should probably start taking notes about things like this, just to make sure I don't forget. Okay, nothing else seems to be here. Otherwise, yeah. Well, okay. In that case, I'm going to call an episode here. We leveled up. I'm going to look at level ups next episode, I guess. Maybe I'm going to read about all the skills again off camera, just to remind myself, and hopefully have formed, you know, some sort of strategy as far as level ups go. I'm gonna take a note about this locked door here, or this locked lever, I suppose, technically. And yeah, we're gonna start exploring more of this island, and, you know, getting into the actual game out of the tutorial possibly next time. As always, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye bye.